we're live.
Okay.
Hello. Hello, Flo on the go. Hi, Jeannie. Hi, Lady Elaine. Good to see you. Margot. Jeannie, it is 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hi, Ann Rose. If you want to debate that, you can go to Brian Enton because he's there and that's what he said. So I'm going to defer to him. And there is no streaming allowed. Hi, Teresa W. Hi, Earth Angel. Hi, Al. So they're going to be, footage will be released afterwards. And we're going to follow along with the tweets. I'm not going to go and show anything. What is with my... Looks like I have something. I don't know what it is. I haven't even had anything. I just keep seeing something here. Okay. I tried to make a short today about the Blueberry Special K. And I made a video and I don't know where it went. Then the sound wasn't on because the Zoom was on my phone. So then I tried to do a voiceover. Don't know where that went. But my consensus is I still like the Kellogg's Red Berry better than the blueberry because the blueberries, while they're real and everything in the cereal, they're too hard. And you don't just get the taste. It's like much better to add fresh blueberries if you're going to do that with the red berries. So that's what I say there. I don't know if my mind is driving me crazy, but I keep seeing something on my lip. I don't know what the heck is going on. And all of my lip stuff is all packed in my big makeup case upstairs. So that'll be that. Let me go to Brian Enton because he was lined up to go in there at 8 o'clock my time. I've been up for a long time now trying to figure out what I'm doing with my phone. All that good stuff. Okay, let's see here. Bryan Kohberger. Now it's funny because JB is saying 11 and Brian Enton says noon East Coast time. So who's right, who's wrong? I don't know. But let's go see what Brian Enton is saying now. He's saying 1 minute ago. So I guess Brian Enton's right. Since he just made it into the courtroom, I guess J.B. Buono, you're wrong. Just telling you. Brian made it into the courtroom. It's pretty small. Kohberger is not in here yet. Prosecutor Bill Thompson just walked in. So we'll see what happens. And just so, let's see. The grand jury indictment for him is, these are the charges that they're going to go over today that he should enter a plea for. Is murder in the first degree, a felony, in count 2, the burglary, Idaho Code, a felony, count 1, murder in the first degree, Idaho Code is a felony, count 3, murder in the first degree, felony, count 4, and murder in the first degree, count 5. So 4 counts of murder in the first degree and then the 1 burglary, which he should be entering a plea on and I'm sure it'll be not guilty. And of course, for Madison Mogan, Kaylee Gonsalves, Sandy Coronado, and Ethan Chapin. Okay. So we shall see. Let's see what's going on over here with. Okay, and the last tweet from Brian Enton says, made it into the courtroom. It's pretty small. Kohberger is not here yet. And the prosecutor, Bill Thompson, just walked in. They are still about 10 minutes out from starting. It is 9 a.m. their time, Pacific time, and it's going to be 12 on the East Coast. Let's see who else is. Let's see here. If there's anything else that's going on. Up to the minute. Let's see what she's doing. I don't know who else. Let me see. Okay, here's another person that's there from, let's see. I don't know what station she's with, or if she's with the station. Let me see, catch. In line with lots of other media to get to the Latah County Courthouse. We got here at 6:20 this morning to get into the main courtroom. We're now in the courtroom. Latah County Prosecutor Bill Thompson and his team are here. 2 pool cameras are allowed, Court TV and KREM2. Lewiston Tribune is taking the still photos. Other than that, we can't take pictures or record video in the courtroom. The brief arraignment will not be live streamed. So we can only follow along from tweets, guys, and that's anywhere. If somebody is live streaming it, they are in violation. So let's see. Latah County Courthouse. Okay, so this is Latah County Courthouse where this is occurring. That's where it is, the Latah County Courthouse. Let's go back and see if we have any other updates. No updates from anyone on Brian at the courthouse yet. Let's see. there was something. Oh, yeah, I know what I wanted to go over that. Sensationalized Dateline. Okay, but here's some things that were said, and they used a lot of stuff. Dateline, ex-FBI agents, all these kind of people are not ceasing to amaze me, and how People Magazine, another one that just prints anything and just lists an unnamed source. So yeah, it just gives you like the liberty to say whatever you want, clickbait, etc. So take all this with a grain of salt, but this was what was in that Dateline episode. The source that they say told them this says it was a rumor that Brian was messaging them on social media, and it's not correct, but he may have been stalking them via geotagging. In the spring of 2022, Brian interviewed for an internship. We know all this, for the Pullman Police Department. After not getting the internship, he was hired as a teaching assistant at WSU. July of 2022, Brian moved to Pullman. A month prior, he purchased the K-bar and sheath from Amazon, according to this source. Experts say that he thinks Brian casted a part with an individual who fits the fantasy, a prototype. A friend of Kaylee's thinks Bryan Kohberger may have come across the victims at Mad Greek. An expert thinks it could be via social media. That just sounds like mad speculation. Bryan Kohberger got a seatbelt violation ticket a half a mile away from the house on the night that his phone first pinged in Moscow. Of the 12 times his phone pinged in the area of the house, they mention an incident from March of 2022 when law enforcement was called to a sorority house nearby the King Road residence because a girl's suitcase was taken from her car and put in the middle of the road, and she found items from her front seat in her suitcase and found her underwear in her cup holder. There is absolutely no proof of significance to Bryan Kohberger, but they say that because in March, Bryan Kohberger had already decided to move to Washington, and while he was doing schooling online, they can't rule it out. Oh, wow. Then he could have been in the area because they don't know where he was. Oh, that's great. Bryan Kohberger had a coworker who had some weird things happen in her apartment, and we talked about this last night. So this is their source. So she told Bryan Kohberger, who recommended and installed a video security camera, which they say he could pull up the camera to look at because he knew her Wi-Fi password, and experts think Bryan Kohberger could have orchestrated the whole thing, and it may have been a stepping stone leading up to a worse crime. This is really nothing but wild speculation on Dateline's part through an unnamed source. Multiple experts state they believe either Kaylee or Maddie were the target. They state the DNA on the sheath was touch DNA. They said police believe Bryan Kohberger intended to leave after going back downstairs to the second floor, but encountered Zaina, who was still awake after ordering DoorDash and was using TikTok. And experts say both her and Ethan were in the wrong place at the wrong time. He probably didn't see Dylan as he was focused on leaving because his plan had been botched. They say investigators, not police, are convinced that Bryan Kohberger could have been Papa Roger based on Papa Roger's post about the sheath. Sources say at the time of the traffic stops in Indiana, police had not yet connected Bryan Kohberger's Elantra specifically to the crime scene, but he was pulled over by officers doing routine drug interdiction where they were watching driver's behavior and his erratic or unusual behavior is why he got pulled over, but did not alarm them enough to ticket him. It was after Brian's return to Pennsylvania that forensic genealogy on the sheath led to a list of family members, including Brian. 2 days before Christmas, they used that DNA info to obtain a cell phone search warrant and found all of the call records showing he was near the residence all of those times, and records of him owning a car that matched the one seen around the residence at the time of the murders. Investigators found out that one of Brian's sisters noticed him wearing latex gloves and pointed out that he lived near the crime and drove the same car they were looking for, and pointed out the family should consider that Brian might have killed the 4 students in Moscow and went outside to check his car, but by that time, Bryan had already been seen by law enforcement cleaning his car with bleach. Police found 2 IDs inside the victim's house, ID cards in a glove box that belonged to 2 women, but not to the victims. Okay, so that's very sensationalized and a bunch of mostly malarkey, according to me. Okay, let me go and see what the updates are here. Okay, so there's 2 additional hearings after the arraignment regarding the media's motion against the gag order and the defense motion to compel discovery. Kohberger was indicted by a grand jury on Wednesday. Preliminary hearing for June was canceled. Everybody's talking about how small the courtroom feels or is. Let me go to, I'm looking at a bunch of different tweets from people that are there. Let's see. Come on. Let's see. The victims' families are arriving into the courtroom. This is 5 minutes ago. Kaylee's sister, Olivia, has her baby with her. 25 people sitting in the family section. A lot of people, the reporters that are there, have not seen before. Many are already emotional. The family is on one side. Media is on the other. About 50 people total. That was 42 seconds ago. What else? Who else has some insight on this? Okay, let's see what she's saying. Alexandra Duggan, let's see what she's saying. We will be able to live tweet from the courtroom today. Okay, so there's no live streaming permitted. She said, Alexandra Duggan, now this time we are inside the courtroom. It's very small. The entire right side is reserved for the prosecutor's office and family of victims. The Gonsalves family is here along with people I don't recognize. Go off on this other person. Arraignment is set to begin in 2 minutes. We're waiting for Judge and Kohberger and defense team to arrive. The brief arraignment will not be live streamed. We're in the main courtroom and we'll see the murder suspect Bryan Kohberger in person for the first time in 4.5 months. Family of the victims is now seated in the courtroom. Okay. Go back to Brian Enton. All right, let's see. He has 2 new tweets, one minute ago saying totally quiet in here waiting All you hear is reporters typing and Olivia's baby making soft cooing noises. 20 seconds ago, Bryan Enton tweeted, I don't see any of Bryan Kohberger's family here, but there is also an overflow room I can't see. Okay. See who else is okay, let's go back to okay, I don't see anything more from Alexander Duggan. Okay. Very quiet. Another reporter says, inside, all you hear is the whispers of a baby. Everyone has been seated inside the courtroom, members of the press, the public. A teenager is even attending. Okay. Bryan Enton still has not updated anything else yet. Okay, let's see. See if Bryan Enton has anything else. The last tweet from Bryan Enton is 3 minutes ago saying, I don't see any of Bryan Kohberger's family here, but there is also an overflow room I can't see. Bryan Enton counts about 25 people sitting in the family section. A lot of people I have not seen before. Many are already emotional. Families on one side, the media is on the other. About 50 people total in that courthouse, but there's also an overflow room. Let's see what else we have. There's going to be 2 issues after this, which is going to be regarding the gag order and compelling of discovery. Let's see here. Okay, let's go back to our tweets and see what's going on. From another source there, reporter John Webb says, very quiet inside. All you can hear are the whispers of a baby. Another one said, court should be starting. This is 14 minutes ago in about 10 minutes. Members of Maddie Mogen's family are seated in the courtroom wearing pink, her favorite color. The family planned hashtag Maddie May Day for this Thursday, which is her birthday. Let's see. Another reporter said, hang on, Stevie, hold on a minute. Steve and Christy Gonsalves, the parents of Kaylee, are here along with several members of their family. Maddie Mogan's mother and stepfather are there. Christy is holding a package of tissues. Media is being seated with roughly 80 reporters in the current courtroom. Okay, 38 seconds ago. Bryan Kohberger just walked into the courtroom. He gave a smile to his attorney before he was seated. Okay. Okay. And okay, let's see. Let's refresh this. Okay, latest tweet on this one again is Bryan Kohberger. This was 1 minute ago. Just walked into the courtroom. He gave a smile to his attorney before he was seated. I'm going to refresh again. Family and media are in place. Judge John Judge. Wow, that's his real name. Wow, he was just born to be a judge. Introduced himself as the new judge presiding over the case. I wonder what happened to the other judge. Kohberger is wearing an orange gel jumpsuit, seems to be wearing a bulletproof vest underneath, according to Brian Enton. Another person there, reporter, said the accused killer in the University of Idaho student murders, Bryan Kohberger, just walked into the courtroom where he will face his arraignment. He walked in looking towards the side of the room where the media is sitting, slightly smiled at his attorney, and is now facing the judge. Another said, Kohberger just entered the courtroom, no eye contact with the rest of the room. He shot a quick smile at his attorney, and the hearing is underway. Bryan Kohberger's attorney, Ann Taylor, is there. Judge is on the bench. Let me go refresh and see what we have. Okay, so we've got, he said he doesn't have questions. He responded, yes, I do. To what? Yes, I do what? Yes, I do. Judge is reading Kohberger his rights and charges. Kohberger is looking straight ahead and nodding a bit to show he understands what the judge is saying. Oh, he said, yes, I do. When he said, yes, I do, that was in response to the judge saying that he is not required to testify. Do you understand? Kohberger, yes, I do. Brian, and let's go see what he's saying. Judge is now going over the indictment with Kohberger. Kohberger just said, yes, I do, when the judge asked him if he understands. Anything he says can and will be used against him. The judge read Kohberger his rights and charges. Kohberger looking straight ahead, nodding a bit to show he understands what the judge is saying. Again, Kohberger's wearing an orange jail jumpsuit, seems to be wearing a bulletproof vest underneath. Does not appear that any of Bryan Kohberger's family is there, but there's also an overflow room. Okay. Let me see. Okay. And from the last time, that was January 12th, but let me go see what is new yet. Judge is reading the names of each victim one at a time. When he got to the Gonsalves family, they began wiping their tears. There's tears in the courtroom. The judge is reading Bryan Kohberger's charges against him, the felony burglary and the murder in the first degree times 4. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so then he's going over the charges the judge is saying, count 3, murder in the first degree, stabbed Kaylee Gonsalves. Judge called her Kayla. Judge has trouble pronouncing Zaina's name for count 4. Murder by stabbing of Ethan Chapin. Let's see where she said Madison. Oh, count 2. Murder in the first degree, willfully, intentionally, and with malice and aforethought. Murdered. I don't know. This woman is not really getting her tweets out here, but I think we know. So that was the judge is reading all of the counts that we just saw up there. Let me just go back to Brian Enton. Brian Enton saying, what are we saying, Brian Enton? Where are your tweets? Where are your tweets, Brian? That's, okay. Judge reading what each charge carries, including fines, jail time, restitution, no mention of the death penalty. Maximum penalty for burglary, 10 years in prison, for murder, life in prison, or the death penalty. That's someone saying that, but they're saying that the judge didn't mention that. Kohberger is not showing much emotion from one reporter's viewpoint. Okay, let's see. There's going to be any more. Just keep refreshing here to see what's new. For some reason, Brian Enton's new tweets are not showing. So we're going to go somewhere else. Okay, let's see. I don't know if she's going to have this. Judge asking Kohberger if he understands all the charges and the maximum penalties against him. Kohberger replies yes. Kohberger chooses to stand silent, meaning the judge enters a not guilty plea on his behalf. So he did not enter a plea, and the law is that then they will enter a not guilty plea on his behalf. We can only see the back of Bryan Kohberger's head. Judge says we have some people on Zoom. They would be family members who couldn't travel for the hearing. An attorney is participating via Zoom. Another reporter said we can only see the back of Kohberger. He's in an orange jumpsuit and looks very thin. Okay. Check it out again. Okay. Then they say the judge tells Bryan Kohberger the maximum penalty is life in prison or death. That's what they said there, but then somebody said he didn't, so you don't know. 132 days to wait. The prosecution now has 60 days to seek the death penalty, Brian Enton said. After saying he understood all murder charges against him, he stands silent when asked how he pleads. The judge enters a not guilty plea for him and sets the 60-day clock for a decision from prosecutors on whether they will seek the death penalty. Okay, so they've got 60 days. And then defense in the first-degree murder trial against Bryan Kohberger asked for an October trial. Prosecution agrees. They ask for a 6-week trial. The trial date is set for October 2nd at 8:30 a.m. October 2nd. Okay. And we know how often that continues and continues and continues. But let me refresh this and just check. Court is over for Bryan Kohberger. See? Trial is set for October 2nd, 8:30 a.m. He stood silent about the plea, and a not guilty plea was entered for him. And that is it. Judge now asking to set dates, and Taylor asking for October or November. Taylor asking for a 6-week trial. Okay, so what do you think of that? Go back to the chat. Okay, so there you have it, guys. October 2nd, he didn't enter the plea. He stood silent, and they entered the not guilty plea for him. Because it's October 2nd doesn't mean it's going to happen October 2nd, but that's the date that's been set. And what else? So that's what we have. October, that's faster than you thought, huh, Cursory? Yeah. I know. Crazy. Crazy. Let's see. Oh, I'm in top chat. I've got to get out of top chat. Anybody else have anything to add? I know they have 2 other matters to address, but I don't know if anybody's going to be there for them, or I'll check if anybody is addressing those. Back. Court is adjourned 4 minutes ago. Prosecution, 60 days to seek the death penalty. So we don't know about the gag order that's being contested, and compelling of discovery. But that's it. Looks like that's it. Let me see if Brian entered anything. No. Court adjourned. So that's it. Pretty uneventful. Well, the prosecutor said that they would be ready then, so he's got an October date. But that doesn't mean anything. There a lot of times those dates are continued and continued and continued. And they have 60 days. Hi, Christine Micro, to decide on the death penalty. And what else? Yeah. So we'll see if that goes off on that. Oh, sorry. I've been up a long time. I have to go to my parents' gravesite. I want to bring the lilacs, and then I have to figure out what to do, what I'm doing here with this phone. We're trying a couple of things here, but I have to say, then we've got to get to Roman. It's Roman spending the night. And you just can't get over the K-bar I bought on Amazon. Hi, Teresa. He doesn't want it delayed. But, well, we don't know, Christine Maker. We'll see. We'll see. They have 60 days to decide. Let me go over. First of all, the Amazon stuff, it wasn't that Dateline source, so grain of salt. But anyway, let me go to just check with Brian Enton if there's anything new. If not, yeah. He didn't have anything. So he was, Bryan Kohberger was silent, which cannot be held against him when asked about his plea. So the judge enters a not guilty plea for him. All right. I think then we're going to. Hi, Kim M. How are you? Call it a day right now for this. I'll be on again later. Got a lot to do today. So thanks for watching. Have a nice day, everybody. God bless. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.